And all the people say, you can't wake up, this is not a dream. You're part of a machine, you are not a human being. With your face so made up, living on a screen. Low on self-esteem, so you run on gasoline. I think there's a flaw in my code. These voices won't leave me alone. Oh, my heart is gold and my hands are cold.
Do they really know me? Or just this version I put on? They see what I want them to see, nothing more. Maybe it's for the best.
But who are you really? And why are you hiding behind a mask? Maybe it's time to let go and show them who you truly are.
And what if there's nothing underneath? Just emptiness. Maybe I'm not meant to be more. Maybe I don't deserve to be seen.
You're more than the mask you wear. You're worth knowing, worth understanding, worth believing in.
What if I'm not good enough?
Enough is who you already are. It's okay to let them see your flaws, your fears, your hopes. It's okay to let them see you.
How do I feel on camera right now? I'm uncomfortable. I don't do this type of videos. I usually do funny videos with a sprinkling of inspirational videos. I try not to get vulnerable very often. How I feel when someone's nice to me? I'm usually pretty analytical. I feel like niceness is performative, and in my experience, people are often nice to me with an expectation of getting something in return, and I don't know what that expectation is, and it usually turns into some sort of disappointment in me or a failing on my part that I'm not sure of. I wasn't aware of the rules, and I'm learning that I can accept people being nice when the behavior is consistent and matches. That nice isn't always performative, it can be authentic, but usually it's not authentic unless the behavior matches the words, the niceness. Do I feel like an imposter? I think that depends on the part of me that you ask. If you're asking the part of me that's unindoctrinated from an extreme belief system that I no longer align with, absolutely, I'm an imposter. I'm meant to serve others, and self-love is selfish. I'm not supposed to care for myself. I haven't checked off anything on the checklist, and I've fallen so far from the grace that's going to get me to the highest outcome of afterlife in that system. If you're asking the recovering people pleaser, again, absolutely. I'm putting myself first. That's selfish. I don't care what other people think for the first time in my life. And that goes against my very first nature of being worried about others and what they think and how they're feeling and what's going on with them. I'm going completely away from that for the first time in my life and trying something for myself. And absolutely, that makes me feel like an imposter. If you're asking the version of me that only wanted to be a submissive trad wife, absolutely I'm an imposter. I'm nobody's wife. I am forging this life for my own. I'm making my own decisions, and I'm putting myself as a priority. Those are all things that in my history are completely unheard of. They aren't the way I was raised. It wasn't the way I was raised to believe in myself and how I should conduct myself. The version of me that I was before would have been extremely upset at who I am today. She'd be jealous. She'd be visceral. She wouldn't understand who I am. She wouldn't understand forging a career for myself. She would be projecting these things onto me because it's something she felt she never deserved, something she felt she would never attain, something she felt she couldn't. If you're asking if I feel like an imposter today, I think it's a constant choice. I've had to fight those past versions of myself every single day for a very long time. So if you're asking me today if I feel like an imposter, the answer is no. I'm Keita. I'm an author, a life coach, a project control analyst, as well as a singer and a flow artist, and I'm not an imposter.
Once you start getting the negative thoughts more out of your head, it comes a little better. It helps you more out with the imposter. You have to practice, and it doesn't happen overnight. I'm working on it, and I try to, when I hear that negative self-talk, I usually tell myself, when I hear that negative self-talk, when someone's nice to me, I basically accept them being kind to me. And I believe them when they're being nice to me. But then sometimes I get to thinking, would they be nice to me if they knew? Like, I just feel like, are they being nice to me because they see this happy girl? Would they be nice to me if they saw the side that I'm always tearing myself down? Your work is good. Wow, this is really nice. You're so inspiring. You're very inspired. You're so inspiration to others. And then inside,
My name is Rhonda, and I am not an imposter.
How do I feel when somebody's nice to me? Well, I actually always feel like I kind of earned it in the universe. Like, I would try to be kind to people, even if somebody is not in a great mood, but not being mean to others. Like, kind of like offer themselves or always seem to be down. I try to cheer them up, or maybe we can have a conversation and I can say something uplifting to them, and I think it comes back to me. So when somebody's nice to me, I feel like it's just reciprocated, because I might myself be down and out that day. And although I can normally take time to rejuvenate myself, it also helps when other people give me good energy. So I look at things in that way, as energy. So that positive energy. And when you say somebody said something good to you, you always receive good things with happiness and joy. And I think that it's just being reciprocated from the universe, because I try to put that back out as often as I can, without not being real or true to who I am, or not going through my emotions of sadness and unhappiness. So it's much needed at most times, because the people that I say maybe I would expect those things from, I've learned in life that doesn't always necessarily become the case. So when people are nice to me or say something good, to me by being nice. I really do appreciate it, and I think it's the universe speaking back to me. Do I feel like an imposter? Well, no, I do not feel like an imposter because I don't think that I'm trying to deceive people or make them think that I'm anything more than what I am. I think that I'm pretty true to who I am. I'm like all over the place. I can't pretend to fit in anywhere. So I don't think that I necessarily fit in anywhere. I think I'm just there. Like I'm just present in places or times in my lives or whatever the case may be. So I can't, by the way I'm made up, like the way I live as a person, I can't pretend to be anything. I can't pretend to be happy all the time. I can't pretend to be like I'm not angry at times. I like to be honest in that regard, and sometimes I'll even say that because I don't want people to think that life is just always rainbows and unicorns. It's just like a false narrative, and I hope that I express that in my art as well. I'm like a perfect mess, like and that's how I kind of see it in my art style, like a perfection of mess. And I think a lot of people can relate, but that's how I am as a person. So no, I am not an imposter. I am my authentic self. My name is Shamika Bussy, aka Euphoria Art Block, and I am not an imposter.
Being on camera right now, I feel a little vulnerable, a little subconscious, maybe even a little bit silly. Putting myself out there like this, I have not done that in a long time. When someone says something nice to me or gives me a compliment, I don't take it the way I used to. I almost don't even take it. Just pass right by it like it's some formality, like, hey, how are you? Good, how are you? Good, thanks. They're just saying that to be nice. I guess I don't believe them because I don't believe that about myself. At times, I do feel like an imposter. My whole life, I've just had to rely on my wits to get me through, to get me to the next place, and fake it till you make it is one hell of a term. Now I'm a new mom, and I do not know what I am doing. I am figuring it out and trying to embrace everything that comes with the territory. The biggest thing, though, is saying goodbye to the girl that I used to be and meeting the woman that I am now. A lot of letting go, a lot of growth. I'm Bree. I'm a new mommy, and I am not an imposter.
Oh, honey, you are born of the moon, precious cake. Don't forget there is unknown inside you. Don't turn away from yourself by being like somebody else. Don't turn away from yourself by being like somebody else. Don't turn away.
I feel like an imposter right now. It's crazy. I talk to maybe 100 people on any given day, but on this camera in my living room right now, I feel terrified. I feel like an imposter at least once a day. I am somebody that comes from a lot of resource scarcity my entire life, and so to make things happen, I've got to call on my people. I've got to call on every single one of them constantly. And A lot of times, instead of feeling like a light in this community, I feel like a blight. When people say something nice to me, my first reaction is usually to smile, but it is usually out of fear. You know, what they want, what their agenda is. And then somewhere along the road, I remember I actually am somebody that deserves to have nice things said about them. A lot of time learning how to identify and be honest about these feelings with my therapist. But we haven't got to the point yet where I know how to put them to rest. But I think this is part of it. I think we're working through it together, and we can be brave and show each other that this is a collective thing happening to us as a society. My name is Sylvia. I'm an artist and a creative activist in Macon, Georgia. And I am not an imposter.
No one around here is good at keeping their eyes closed.